So I've been to a shitload of concerts over the years. And a lot of them were pretty fucking outrageous. Like, there were lots of pretty epic, like, once-in-a-lifetime shows that I was lucky enough to experience. So this will be the first of a series of my concert stories. Back in 2002, nu metal was at its peak, rap metal, you know, that kind of scene. Limp Bizkit. Producer Ross Robinson was pretty much running the music scene. All of his bands, you know, Slipknot, Korn, you know, I think probably Korn's third album had dropped by this point. I could be wrong, maybe fourth album. So nu metal was had peaked and had begun its decline. But Ross Robinson had teamed up with Vanilla Ice. Now, Vanilla Ice back in 1990 represented everything about rap music that I hated. I was into Public Enemy. Nation of Millions is like one of the most raw fucking punk rock fucking aggressive albums ever. So yeah, Vanilla represented that corporate bullshit dancing, you know, that I just, you know, Straight Outta Compton had just come out. So that's, you know, Ghetto Boys. The Black Album was just, you see where I'm going with this. Either way, Vanilla had dropped a rap metal album with producer Ross Robinson that was extremely personal and fucking had a heavy vibe to it, and I fucking loved it. Kind of flipped the script on my opinion of Vanilla Ice. He'd found humility. He'd humbled himself and, you know, was exercising his demons. And the raw honesty of that album really, I connected with that. So it was 2002, I want to say it was February or March, in San Francisco at this place called Jillian's. If you haven't heard of Jillian's, it's kind of like a hard rock cafe kind of a place, I guess. But so I get there with an ex-girlfriend, ex now, but we're still friends. And you know, it's about 2/3 of the way full. It's not packed, but there's a few people. And shit started to hail. Fucking Ron Jeremy was there, and this was before The Surreal Life came out. So I'm guessing now, looking back in hindsight, that they had already filmed The Surreal Life, and Vanilla and Ron Jeremy were pals, hence why he was there. I'm way too much of a chicken shit to like approach celebrities and whatnot, so I didn't step to him. But my lady friend at the time, she went over and said hi, and so that's pretty cool. Looking back, I wish I'd fucking stepped to him. But so it's a fucking incredible show, right? His drummer was fucking off the chains. He had this guy named Antonopolis, who would later become the drummer for this band called Opiate for the Masses, which was kind of, it's hard to explain, but, you know, kind of in that crossfade, you know, kind of hard rock, nu metal kind of vibe, you know, like a Dima or something like that. Pretty good. I mean, he's fucking incredible. Like, he's from the school of, like, Tommy Lee, the showmanship, Morgan Rose. He reminded me a lot of Morgan Rose from Seven Best. And he just was fucking incredible. I couldn't take my eyes off him. He was fucking... I mean, there was a point where he spit about 5 feet in the air and then caught it in his mouth, never missing a beat. I mean, this guy, he would stand up and play. I can't... Just to tell you, he was probably the most incredible showman I've ever seen behind the drums. Hence why they had him right up... right center of the stage, right up front. He was part of the show as much as the Iceman. So the show concludes, and we're kind of mingling about as the place empties, and I can see back behind the curtain there's a backstage, and Vanilla's back there with the crew, and they let somebody back there, and I kind of catch the eye of the security guy, and I'm like, dude, because I was up front the whole time. Like, they knew who I was because I made myself visible. And the guy fucking waves us back there. He's like, yeah, come on. I'm like, here we fucking go. So we get back there, and Vanilla Ice was cool as shit, man. Like, he passed me a fucking blunt, threw our arms around each other, me, him, and the drummer, and my girlfriend at the time. A few pictures were taken. Unfortunately, we didn't have, this is back when it was like Nokia shit phones, you know, and we didn't have our phones on us. So I never was able to get those pictures. That's a heartbreaker. So all I have is the story, but it's all good. Never forget. And I had a long conversation with Seven, with the drummer, and about touring, about life, about the music biz, and he was the most real, the nicest guy. He didn't try to hit on my girlfriend. Cool as hell, man. And turns out he's like friends with Morgan Rose, and which is one of his favorite drummers. We, kind of bonded, yada yada. He asked us to hang out and party with him and the band in San Francisco. And we kind of look at each other and we're like, fuck, should we? And looking back on it, I fucking wish I had. But we decided, since we had to take the drive back to Santa Cruz, we'd been drinking, that it was probably better for us to take the memory, as good as it was until that point, and call it a night. But it was one of my few backstage moments, backstage with a legend, and a memorable show, and really, really a great time. And come back next time. Next story, I'll be talking. I got plenty of them. I got the Danzig show in San Jose, where a security guard was stabbed and killed by the guy that I went to the show with. One of Korn's very first performances at Cactus Club. A lot of great shows at the Cactus Club. Glassjaw at the Cactus Club. That was crazy. Head PE. And Korn and 311. God, what else? Well, those are stories to come. So definitely check back, hit subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed this tale of rap, rock, and fucking good dudes.